In this tutorial, we're going to talk a bit about color. You can find the color panel under Window. It's already open for me. If I click on it, it will hide and I can get back to it either by going under Window or by clicking on this little icon on the right side. So the default that will appear is this panel containing these four letters CMYK, which stand for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Cyan is blue, magenta is this dark fuchsia, pink if you will, Y stands for yellow, and K stands for black. So mixing these colors together result in a certain color. It depends on how much percentage we add from a color, from one of the colors. CMYK is generally used if we're printing something. So let's say we make a certain design that's eventually going to be printed. We use the CMYK options. On the other hand, if I click on the right side of this panel, which gives me additional options, I can select RGB. R stands for red, G stands for green, and B stands for blue. And I would get certain colors just by mixing RGB together, like 0% red and 57% green and 63% blue will result in this dark green, for example. So this is how we mix colors together in order to result in a final color that we desire. Now another place where we can find colors is under swatches, which again can be found under Windows. So Windows, swatches. Right now it's checked, which means the panel is open for me and I can see it right here. This panel exists by default, so you have all these colors. You can actually select them all and throw them in the trash if you want to organize things. So you can, for example, usually this is what I do. I keep the white and the black in the swatches panel, and then I take everything from this red until the end of these colors, and then I click once on the delete swatch icon at the bottom, and then everything will be deleted except for the white and black. You don't have to, because the swatches panel is quite helpful if you want to pick these standard yellows and greens, but sometimes you want to make your own color in this palette right here. I'm going to go back to CMYK. Sometimes you like to come up with your own color by mixing the four colors together. And then once you do, let's say I like this gold color, which I just came up with, I can just click on it once and drag it to the swatches panel, and you will see this plus sign, which means it's adding that color for me. So what I normally do is, again, I delete everything, I select them all with the shift key, and then I hit delete swatch, and then I make my own colors. So let's say I'm going to work on an artboard that's made up of let's say this red, and then another color like gold or something. I just make a collection of these colors in my swatches panel. So I will click on the red and then drag it all the way down to the swatches, and then you see the plus sign, which means it's ready to add that color for me. And then I hit I release, and then the red goes next to the black. Let's say I want to work on another color like this golden color. Let me try to, if I add some blue, I'll get there. Okay, so this golden color is going to be part of my work, for example. Again, I drag it and drop it down. So I have, a white, black, and a red and gold color. And all other colors I keep adding. Again, as I said, you can work with existing swatches. This is just to organize your work if you wish to do so. Now, let's cover also the eyedropper tool, which is this tool right here in the toolbox. The shortcut to get to the eyedropper tool is by hitting the letter I. Once we do that, the selection tool changes to the eyedropper tool. Now let me give you an example. If I have, for example, any object like a rectangle, that is this golden color. So I'm just drawing a random rectangle on the artboard and I'm going to release. It's obviously made up of the colors that currently exist in the toolbox, which is the gold and the black. Now, let me deselect this. I can deselect by either clicking outside with the command key, hold the command key and click, or just by going to the selection tool and just clicking outside. So I have this element. As you can see, it has a black outline and a gold color. Let me show you how the eyedropper tool works. The first thing I want to do is the easier example. Let me select this object and get rid of the black stroke. So to get to the black stroke, as you can see, it's hiding behind the fill. I just click on the X letter and it becomes the foreground color. So then I can hit none and then get rid of the outline. So that's wonderful. Now let's say I have another object on my artboard that happens to be a different color. So let's pretend I have this red color and I have a set of ellipses. You know, this is a simple example. So I have all these ellipses, but I need to color them the same gold. Obviously what I can do is just click on them one by one. So let's say I select this red one and then go to the swatches panel and click on the gold and change it to gold. So that's one way to do it. Or I can, use the eyedropper tool. So let's say I have these 3 red ellipses. I can click outside and drag to select them all. And then just hit the I button on your keyboard and the cursor will change to the eyedropper tool, as you just saw. And then I will take the eyedropper tool and place it over the existing object that is gold and click once. What happens is that the eyedropper tool absorbs that existing color and automatically transforms my selected objects, which are the red ellipses, to gold, as you just saw. The same thing will happen if my rectangle has a stroke color. So let's say we have this rectangle which is gold and it has a red border, and I will give this border some width, a very thick width of 0.25 inches. Again, my intention is to color these 3 ellipses with the same gold color and red border. So I'm going to click outside and drag to select all 3 and then hit I to get to the eyedropper tool and then go over my golden rectangle, click once to absorb the color, and when I release, my 3 ellipses will become that same result with the exact same stroke weight. Okay, so this is an overview about how to use color and especially the eyedropper tool, which is extremely useful, especially when the artboard starts getting complicated and filled with many elements.